Before we continue in your priestly life, because you had so many responsibilities as a priest here, which we are going to come to talk about, I want us to go back to the 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 switch from before you met Father O'Malley. Before you met him, you went to Canada to see Bishop Dogmo for a recommendation.
Yes,
Could you enlighten us on that?
Yes, because when I was with O'Malley,
yes,
then it was about time to register.
Okay.
To
the Oblates.
With the Oblates.
Yes.
Yeah. No, not with the Oblates.
Okay.
I backtracked a little bit.
Yes.
When I left
yes.
Illinois to come to Washington,
yes.
I'll still have some vouchers, tickets,
okay.
that could have allowed me to go to Canada.
I see.
Before leaving Cameroon, I have taken multiple entries. That
Visa.
Too is really a miracle that happened when I went to the
embassy
in Cameroon, in Yaoundé, the American embassy.
Yeah.
The man was the consul himself.
Okay.
Who came because the guy who was supposed to return my passport to me
yes.
after receiving a denial, verdict.
Yes.
Was not in the office. So the consul himself
came
down, and he was the one. When we knocked, he was the one distributing that. When he saw me, he said to me, "You wanted to go to America, what to do?" But I said, "Well, to study there." I was debating whether I should study in Canada or in the United States. And I have a brother in the United States. I wanted to go and see and then determine where to go.
Exactly.
So then he has to study, and then he realized that I was a major seminarian. And he started asking me, you're in the Catholic Church, how many years does it take for you to become a priest? So I started to tell him that. He felt very interested in that.
The discussion.
And so finally, he said, okay, so you want to go study? I said, yes. He went in, put a stamp, came out, and handed me the passport and said, okay, good. Then, as we were talking, he took the passport again and said, but you said that you want to go to Canada. I said, yes. I said, before going to the United States, I said, after I reach the United States, I will go there and then come back.
Okay.
And put something there, a stamp.
Yes.
Cancel without prejudice.
Okay, so he canceled that visa.
Yeah, and put another one there and said multiple entry. I took it. I didn't know what it meant. Okay.
Wow.
So when I took it and showed people there, they said, "Oh, multiple entry. That means you go."
Yeah.
And so forth. So I took it. Went to the Canadian embassy when I was in Washington.
Okay.
With these people, 6 people in the room.
In a room.
So they were very helpful.
Yeah.
They're the one who made me fill out the form for my social security.
You can sit down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you can just allow it and just sit down. Yeah. Mm-hmm. When so that you don't stand all the time.
Yeah. So they also helped me go to the Canadian embassy. I went there when they saw that multiple entry.
Yeah.
They just gave me the.
Exactly.
I went to Canada and went to Quebec to meet Monsignor Dogmo. So we talked and so forth. Said,
yes.
We really want to go back to the seminary. I said, yes, indeed. He then wrote a letter of recommendation. I said, when you go there, the seminary, you go to a Catholic university,
yes.
You take that to them.
Exactly.
So good. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Press 4.
Wow.
When he said that, he wrote a note.
I see.
He wrote a note.
Yes.
And I took it.
Okay.
And brought it to the seminary.
I see.
And when I brought it to the seminary, there was a Cameroonian there who lied that he was in the seminary in Cameroon.
Okay.
But when he knew I was coming,
yes,
he tried to basically destroy me by saying where he and he said he got this from a bishop. Oh, the Cameroonian bishop over there is no longer, is not a bishop. He was a.
He started telling the story.
Yeah.
Oh.
Discrediting.
The author.
Yeah. So when I got there, he confused the people. So people didn't know what they said. Well, we don't know for sure, and so forth. Oh. So when I realized they were hesitating,
yes,
I just went back.
Okay.
That's why the following week I went to the street and went to see. I met with Cardinal O'Malley.
I see.
So
you were basically rejected from that obligation.
But I did show the letter to O'Malley and so forth, which really
helped me
really and make him to realize, confirm what I have told him before. So he knew about this bishop, Cameroonian bishop in the
in Quebec, Bishop Dormo was known worldwide.
So in fact, the first priest that we brought to help us in the parish that we created for Haitian was a Capuchin from Canada.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was not ordained yet. I could do anything I wanted to do, but at the time I was not ordained.
Yeah.
So that priest had to come and serve as a first priest in that community.
Oh, wow.
But he was an older fellow, but I'm the one who was running errands, doing this, doing that, and animating the group and so forth.
I see.
Yeah. But yes, after that, I went to Cardinal O'Malley then, was very instrumental.
He continued from where he ended.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about your relationship with Bishop Dormo.
Bishop Dormo, he was very encouraging, and as far as I remember, he gave me some pocket money.
Wow.
Okay.
When you went to Canada?
When I went to Canada. But he's just talking to him.
Yes.
And hearing him encourage me and motivate me and so forth, that really gave me the incentive to move forward and move forward and do what I wanted to do. And I knew that I always have and I went to visit him at least 2 times before he got sick.
I see.
Whenever we would go there, once we went there, he would always take us to the restaurant.
Oh.
And we went to St. Anne de Beaupré, where he used to preach and so forth.
Okay.
And the presbytery in St. Malo, where he was.
Wow.
He had books all over the place, and he started to talk to us about his desire to have the university, Catholic university, everything that he was doing behind the scene with the other bishops in Cameroon and so forth. He has his own concerns about the way things were moving on so slowly and so forth. But he worked seriously.
He was a profound. I have this question, my Lord, because.
But today, people in that university, they don't know the pioneers of the university. They're fighting.
Because I read a book he wrote while in prison.
Yeah.
This is somebody who didn't do any master's or doctorate. But if you read what Bishop Dormo wrote, you would wonder where he took this intelligence from.
Yeah.
And if you remember, Cardinal told me before he passed on, told me that it was Bishop Dormo who recommended him to Bishop Just Peters to send him for studies in France. Yeah, because Bishop Dormo was a very good friend to Bishop Just Peters of Boya.
Yeah.
So he always visited from Consamba. So in one of the visits, he told Bishop Just Peters told him that there's a priest here. I've wanted to send him abroad. He wants to study French. So Bishop Dormo said, I've been sending my priest to France. Let him go to Lyon. And that was how Cardinal Toumi. That's why Cardinal Toumi he told me he owes gratitude to Bishop Dormo for having been sent to France to study French. It helped him. Okay, interesting. So let's go.
We also have to know that when I was in Manga,
yes,
I was in the Diocese of Bishop
Consamba.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he would pass in Banga, and when he that we had
Yes.
this vocation group going, he was just encouraging.
Okay.
You would think that he would somehow be against
religious congregation.
No,
Okay.
I know he was very encouraging, and I was very, very, satisfied, very happy to see that, he was encouraging. But there was a distance.
Okay.
There was a distance between
that's
the
right,
bishop
between
and the
you
people.
exactly in those days.
But when I had my own opportunity to go and see him in Canada and sit down with him and listen to him talk to me, motivate me and so forth, I felt like I was in good hands.
No, obviously.
Yeah.
So you later heard that he was imprisoned, and you felt bad, of course, when he was imprisoned by Ijo and all that.
No,
stuff.
I was in Banga. We lived the whole thing when I was in Banga.
Oh my God!
When I went to major seminary, he was still in
that prison
in North Cameroon. Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah, and so when, in fact, it was in 1975, I believe.
Yes.
That he was released.
Exactly.
And then from there came to the major seminary.
Okay.
And then from there, I don't even remember what he talked about, but he came, and then from there he went to Canada. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. So I knew what he went through because I was in Konsamba.
I see.
I was in Banga at the time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I read a book by Albert Mocom, a prisoner without a crime. And in that book, because he was a prisoner without a crime, and he was in that prison when the was, and he explained everything that this bishop was exceptional. He had a garden, and the Pope John Paul II sent him grains to plant because he loved gardening. Simple man with other prisoners, a prisoner without a crime. So he explained that, and I got so interested in the man Bishop Dokmo, his vision. He had vision from Kongsaba.
Oh yes, right.
Vision.
I know.
Yeah, the factory he built in order to support the diocese.
Mungo Plastic.
Exactly. And people were against it. People said a bishop should not have but the Dogmo said it was to make the diocese financially independent, which is done today.
Yeah.
So why were people against that? So at the end of the day, you see that
it's just like today people are talking about synod and some synodality. Some people don't want to hear
you see,
especially people who are a proponent of clericalism.
Exactly.
And so forth. Because the church is not just the church of the priests, the bishops, and the Pope and the Cardinal.
Exactly.
It's the church
The
of the
people
people
of
of God. Yeah. So it's a process that we started here in this diocese already.
Oh, that's
but
great.
Anyway.
Interesting. I'm happy to hear that. I spoke with Father yesterday. He told us about that and the wonderful work you are doing as far as that is concerned. Trying to journey together with the Universal Church, the Pope Francis.
Yeah.
Interesting, my Lord. So let's go to your priestly. I was so, when I read about you, when you were appointed bishop, the first thing that struck me was your parkour as a priest. Oh my God. Let's begin with, so I have it here. So you were parochial vicar of St. Peter and Paul Cathedral and St. Anne Chapel from 1990 to 1997. How was your experience those 7 years as a young, vibrant priest? Do you remember?
Well, first of all, as deacon,
okay,
I was already, introduced to many aspects of the life of this diocese. And I was doing prison ministry.
Okay.
And I could, string my guitar and I would go there and do that, which of course made the inmates somewhat
to get closer
welcoming.
To you. Yeah.
When I get there, they look forward to my passage over there and so forth. Already I realized that, I was touching lives and so forth. And by the time after a few years, I was here as associate pastor. But my pastor at the time was spending more time on the other beautiful island.
Okay.
And I had to be the one here, basically running
the cathedral.
The cathedral.
Wow.
And of course, since the St. Anne, which is a French town community church.
I see.
With the people from French descent, the French people from France, who established that community, being fishermen who migrated here from Saint Barthélemy, which is a French island not too far from here. So they were very welcoming because I could speak some French. But the French was basically a broken French.
But I don't think so, because
it's
you studied in French.
Over the years, living far away
yes.
from France, and living here with English, having hard time speaking English. So they have their own way of speaking French.
I see.
So, but another could understand me.
You were able to dialogue.
And then I was asked to animate that community.
I see.
So, and I felt like it was a good place for me to begin my ministry.
As a deacon.
But at the same time,
yes.
the leadership of my diocese type of my experiences.
Yes.
Not only I did criminal justice, and then that enabled me to put me in a place where I could deal with corrections, meaning the inmates and so forth, and the juvenile.
Yes.
That also the type on my accounting experience.
Wow.
And before long, I was already
recognized.
The finance officer of the diocese.
Wow.
But working with another lay person.
Okay.
Which was not an easy
task.
And especially with a foreigner.
Oh, a foreigner who is prepared, who knows, who has studied.
But yes, but at the same time, it was not a really smooth experience. But we managed. And being a priest gave me a little advantage also.
Exactly.
Because many of the data were kept away from me.
Okay.
And so it was difficult for me to do my work in that area. But I will go to different meetings, conferences outside the state.
Okay.
And then that enabled me to kind of learn more about what it means to be a finance officer of a diocese.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So that is interesting. Your first 7 years, financial officer, working with prisoners, animating them, and then French and religion teacher in 1992. So during that time, you were also a French teacher.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, if you don't want to get in trouble,
yes,
keep yourself busy.
No, it's true.
And my superiors knew that.
Okay.
And so they kept me busy.
Yes.
We have beautiful beaches all around and so forth. But the tourists come here, they enjoy all those beaches.
Yes.
But I have my hands and my eyes on what I'm doing.
Fixed on your work. You were not distracted.
Yes. So, but once in a while I do go to the beach, but it's not really the place where I have to go.
Exactly. It's not your scale of preference. Interesting. Assistant principal of St. Peter and Paul School. You are also assistant principal.
Yes.
Oh my God, you had a lot to do.
Yeah.
The parish, the school.
And what I learned with the school, even if you don't teach, but I had to teach also, but even if you don't teach, you go to school for 5 minutes, you spend the whole day in school. Because one problem led to another. And the parents coming, you have to listen.
You have to answer.
There is a problem, discipline problem, you have to
listen
down and follow that and so forth. Okay?
But
you have to take care of my mass in the morning, go to the school. There is a mass at noontime sometime. If it's me celebrating that mass, I have to make sure that I'm back for that mass and so forth. And between there are other things, the meetings, choir rehearsal. And I have to go to Frenchtown on Wednesday, Fridays to celebrate mass over there.
Wow.
So that kept me busy.
You were up to the task. You were young, vibrant, and energetic, dynamic, ebullient. So after that, you were a diocesan financial officer, you have explained that already, till 2004, from 96 to 2004 of the diocese. Interesting. Then you were director of vocation, 96 to 2000. Tell us more about director of vocation.
Well, as you can see, we need a priest. We have always need priests, always. So you have to go and bring that awareness, raise the awareness of people as to the reality of the diocese. We have priests, they're serving, but tomorrow they grow old or leave and so forth. We need replacement and so forth. So, and the local people here, for some reason, because we have, I would say, Protestant mentality due to the history of this place and so forth. You know, I saw that you did already some studies in that area.
Yes.
You just came yesterday and you're publishing already some story about that. That's fine. I'm glad. People will get to know about this area. Congratulations.
Oh my Lord, it's my pleasure to make this place known.
So, because of that Protestant mentality here, it's difficult for people to think of giving themselves to the priesthood, especially Catholic priesthood. Catholic priesthood, or not having
that.
Just like in many places in Africa.
Okay.
We want our son to become a priest,
but we don't want to give.
Yeah, no. But maybe if it was just for a few years, yes.
Yes, but not forever.
But we pray for vocation for the son of the neighbor.
Not for our children. Oh, that's a contradiction.
But I'm glad because in Cameroon, wherever you go, you have priests.
You have.
The bishop has so many priests that
he doesn't know what to do with them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But I wish
it was here.
Yeah.
But I think you were able to succeed during your tenure from 96 to 2000, 4 years. You were able to. Did you fish out some people?
Of course, you have to always go out looking for candidates and so forth. Yeah.
Wow.
I recruited people from Haiti.
Okay.
Even from Congo.
Wow.
And from Cameroon.
Interesting.
So I think I have a good number of Cameroonians in the diocese.
Congratulations.
So much so that 1 year I heard people say, "Oh, it's not that parish, that's a Cameroonian parish." Parish of Cameroonians.
So the people already know that.
Yeah. But thank God we're producing good priests.
Very good priests. In fact, somebody was telling me yesterday, you guys from Cameroon are so exceptional, charismatic. You guys bring life to any place you go to. And I was so happy to hear that. It was a testimony that Cameroonians here have been doing an exceptional job. So my Lord, not only a job, a missionary. So you were an administrator 97 to 2000 and rector of the cathedral from 2000 to 2001. You were rector of the cathedral.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then left.
Yes.
Went back to school.
Okay.
To complete my studies in rehabilitation and administration.
Okay.
Then returned because my bishop needed me to go to Holy Family because we had a problem there.
Yes.
And he said, please come back and go to Holy Family. I went there and spent 5 years over there.
Oh my God. Is that in another island?
No, it's on this island.
Okay.
You will visit that.
Okay. Thank you.
It's a very good big parish and so forth.
Thank you.
Well, there is a statue there that was erected in the honor of my family, given by the bishop and the people of that area.
That is serious.
Holy Family, statue. Yeah.
I can see it here. Holy Family Parish from 2004 to 8. Wow. And it was due to that you were elevated to Monsignor.
Now I was elevated to Monsignor while I was still here in the cathedral.
Okay, that was in 2008, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
2002 or 4, between 2002 and 4. When
it was a 2.
Exactly, okay.
2002.
By Pope John Paul II.
Yes, when Bishop Murray was bishop here, when he came, he realized that
you had done a lot of.
According to him, I have the diocese in my
your palms.
But also, we have to launch the restoration of the cathedral.
Okay.
That you see the cathedral,
I see it
looking
beautiful
and so forth. But if you get a picture of the
then
1990s of the cathedral,
nothing to talk about.
We started. It was a long process, and my predecessor, when he came in, I was at Holy Family. He brought me back to the cathedral.
Can you imagine?
He said, no, because the person we put here, they're not very motivated because they're not the one who started it.
Yes.
And they themselves say, you could bring the person who are more
Yeah, more
passionate
intriguing. Yeah.
about the restoration.
Charismatic.
But it was an easy task. Thank God I had Father Louis Kemayo,
Okay.
whom you will meet tomorrow.
I see.
He was ordained for the Diocese of, I believe, in the west, Abomba,
Dume Abomba in the east.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to Cameroon once. He was in Montfebe and told me that he wanted an experience here.
Okay.
So I brought him over.
Wow.
He's been here ever since. But he's a very, very hard-working priest.
Committed.
Because I had him,
yeah.
I was able to, I would say, resume the work of
the cathedral,
restoration of the cathedral.
Interesting.
But the bishop, my predecessor,
yes,
he has very good taste in that. He knew what to do and so forth. And then I was basically
Bishop Beva.
Following his instruction, but I was on the field all the time.
Always on the field.
Drinking, so to speak, dust and everything. But
the result was worth it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So my Lord, after that, you were appointed bishop by Pope Francis on
very recently.
Yes, that was 3rd of March. 3rd of March 2021. How was your reaction? How did that happen? How did this miracle happen?
Well, prior to that, first of all, I was the vicar for
clergy,
vocation director, and then I was made. First of all, I'm a member of the consultors of the Diocese.
College of Consultors.
Yes. Then, of course, I was made vicar for clergy, and this is a role that I played for many, many years. Because first, I was appointed by Bishop Bishop Murray, Jesuit bishop who was here.
I see.
And then was also the chancellor of the diocese under him.
Wow.
Then vicar for clergy.
Okay.
And the work of the vicar for clergy is one that really
it's not an easy
very
one.
challenging.
Not easy.
Because we have to deal with
a priest. And you're a priest yourself.
Yeah. And also, it was at the time where we have a sexual abuse of priests and so forth. Abuse by
minors.
Priests. Yes. But we have to attend all kinds of conferences. We have to come and lay down the rules, the regulation, and kind of modify the lifestyle of people in rectory, who should come, who should not come. Things like that. And not only that, we have to enforce.
Exactly.
We have programs that we have to bring and expand to people and adopt. Yeah. After you adopt those programs, you have to enforce.
Wow.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy for you.
So we continue to do that. But at the same time, you have to be looking for vocations.
Obviously.
We have vocation, they come, and then we will see in 1 or 2 years if they are our priests, and many will just pass and transit and go.
Okay.
Either because they don't have what we think they should have.
Exactly.
To be, maybe because they're just tourists. They just want to come and see.
Exactly.
But God has blessed us with committed priests.
I see. I'm happy to hear that. So my question about your nomination, according to the Catholic Church, the announcement is made through the Apostolic Nuncio.
Yeah.
In this case, Archbishop Christophe Pierre.
Yes.
Did he call you? Can you tell us what happened? The call.
Can I come back?
Yes. Stop. You can stop.